See that green lawnmower? That was my bad lawnmower, and it was just spew a lot of oil until today. And I tried all kinds of stuff. I even tried straight 50 weight. I tried 30 weight with some STP. I tried using 30 weight with marble mister oil in the gas and in the oil, a little bit of that. I tried using GumOut, bunch of GumOut in the gas tank, also Seafoam, also Berryman B-12, which I thought was really great stuff. And I says, you know what, I figured possibly that the rings were stuck. So I took it out today. I didn't take out my old Confederate Cooters motorcycle here. I took this one out. I threw a new plug in it. So I'm just curious how long it could run, because I wanted to try an experiment. And it was like, I didn't expect this to work. We see how much this says, treats 512 gallons, like 32 ounces treats 512 gallons, so like 1 ounce treats probably 15 gallons or something like that around here, or 12 gallons, you know, something like that, right? Yeah, about 12 or so gallons, right? So I put like 2 or 3 ounces of this stuff in that gas tank. So I'm running it, and it's like, you know, for about the first, I'd say 10 minutes or so, more than that, maybe 20 minutes, it's spewing out smoke like it's killing mosquitoes. And sometimes I thought it was going to stall out, right? And I says, oh, well, this crap ain't working. That's usually what happens. Before I even get through a tank of gas, the damn thing's, the plug's clogged up. I'll have to clean the plug. I did put a brand new plug in it, right? So, and I'm running it and running, and all of a sudden it's getting cleaner and cleaner, and then I'll see no smoke. I says, well, maybe that's because, let me try. So I try running it through the deepest grass where it grows the fastest is right next to the fence where there's like a gully, you know, where there's a gully and a fence, you know, the water collects, right? So the grass is always super thick over there. So I'm running it through there, and I says, if it's gonna, you know, it's got to cut pretty, you know, the engine pretty much strains getting through that stuff. And you know, when it goes through there, if it's going to be having any kind of blow by past the oil control rings, you'd see smoke, right? Guess what? No smoke. I was like, holy shit! I says, I couldn't. I tried all kinds of different, you know, I know you're supposed to use straight 30 weight, or maybe 1540 might be all right, or even straight 40 weight. You don't want to use 1030 in these motorcycles, see, lawnmowers, right? And you know, I did rebuild the car before, and it's got the new diaphragm and stuff. That's not the problem. It's the fact that it's got a lot of blow by, and you know, I just figured it, you know, it's worn out. But then again, it could be that the oil control ring was seized. But how do you clean that up? You know, so I was trying to marble mister oil, I was trying to B12, trying to Seafoam, the GumOut. You know, nothing really worked. And I just tried this for the hell of it. Because I put a new plug in there. I was just want to see how I can run it through a full tank of gas. I says, at first I didn't think it was going to make it. It was like I was killing mosquitoes, man. It was like smoke all over the place. And then I think it was after 20 minutes it started clearing up, and it was totally clear. And then even when I ran it through the high grass, and it was bogging, like in other words, it's the high grass, and it wasn't bogging down. It was just slowed down a little bit. You could tell, you know, it was real thick grass by, you know, the grass grows at different lengths. In other words, here in Florida, the grass is like in a week, it grows like crazy, especially in a gully by the fence, right? It's the thick stuff. Well, when it was going through there, the motor was like, the governor on the motor was putting the motor out at full output, right? And you figure, well, if it's going to have blow by, it's going to do it then. Nope, no blow by, no smoke coming out. I was tell you the truth, I was looking online for a replacement engine for this thing, or a short block. You know, it's going to possibly change out the short block, because I think a short block was only like $60. I said, boy, brand new short block. I was like, you know, you'd have to change the flywheel, you know, you have to, the carburetor, recoil system, the ignition system, of course the blade on the bottom, the muffler, gas tank, of course, and the carburetor. You know, you'd have to change all that stuff. But you know, for six, you know, if you rebuild it, you still wind up taking all that stuff out anyway. And the rebuild kit wasn't even $60. It was a brand new short block. I was ready to get that. I said, let me try this. I said, holy crap. So, there you go, man. But I put like, you know, I think this stuff is supposed to treat, well, it says 500, treats 512 gallons. This can actually help clean carburetors too, because it breaks, it's an enzyme, you know. Cleans fuel system and more, stabilizes fuel. But bam, this stuff worked better than anything. I was surprised, because I always, you know, the Berryman B-12 is like the best junk going. That and the old Chevron Techron fuel injector cleaner, at least the old formulation. I don't know if the new one's as good. Those two are the best ones going. They're better than Seafoam or GumOut. But Seafoam and GumOut is still really good. I tried that. I tried some Marvel Mistral and the gas and in the oil. And this was going on for a few years. So I wouldn't hardly ever use this one. Unless, you know, once in a while I would. You know, just to give this one a break. And usually I just can't get through a full tank of gas before the plug clogs up, and I got to clean it off with the, what I'll do is I'll take that propane torch and heat it up and burn the crap off of it, and then, you know, it fires up. This time it was great. This stuff, I'm surprised. I think this actually took all the crap off the oil control ring. I'm surprised. I'm totally flabbergasted. It's not like this was like this for a week. This has been like this for several years. So I'm like, well, I don't give a crap. This thing might last me another 5 years or something. Using it every day, it works. Nothing except for smoking like crazy before. Don't smoke at all now. So that's something you might want to try. I just tried it as a fluke, but sometimes that's what happens. You try something weird, you think it don't work, and then it works. Yeah, I figured I'd take a look at the plug. The plug was like kind of dirty. I scraped some of the stuff off of it, but there was no oil on it. There was no oil on it. It was like black fluffy stuff. So, and I think that was from what do you call it? You know, like the oil burning in the beginning, and then as it cleared up, because it wasn't like oily. It was, normally it's oily. It was just kind of some black fluffy stuff. I just kind of touched it real lightly, and it came right the hell off. So, it was all dry. So the plug stayed pretty damn clean. So, I'm thinking, well, you know, that's a good indication this stupid thing is working well. There was no, like, because that really tells me, because, you know, normally when I took the plug out of there, it was like terrible. I mean, really bad. It was, you know, it wouldn't run. I wouldn't make it through a full tank of gas. So this junk actually worked, man. This somehow freed up the oil control rings and stopped the blow-by. I'm totally flabbergasted. This is something you might want to try. I mean, it's good stuff to keep around anyway, because I found out this stuff keeps the fuel fresher better than anything out there that I tried. So, you know, it's good for that. I know that. But I was surprised that, you know, this might work if you got dirty fuel injectors or something. This might actually work better than Seafoam or Berryman B-12. You know, you might have to use a lot of it. Like I said, I put 2 or 3 ounces in that little tiny gas tank, which is what, it's not even a quart. What is it, a pint? Or something like that. Was it a 12-ounce tank, maybe? Maybe not a 12, 16-ounce tank or something. So, you know, I put in about, God, you know, many times more than you're freaking supposed to, but it cleaned it up. Worked great.